So who doesn't want a tool chest you can actually mount a small TV in, and one they can actually close the lid on that actually stays closed. Yeah, this thing's filthy with one hand, of course. It works with no drilling into your tool chest. I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, so first of all, a lot of tool chests inside the lid are going to have this panel. Not all of them, but I think as far as I've seen, most of them do. And I mean, if you want to do a normal TV mount, you could just drill holes, of course, in here and put it on, right? But that's terrible. No one wants to do that. Plus, it's just sheet metal. So I found these things, which are much better. So you can find these things at Harbor Freight in the US, Princess Auto in Canada, or a bunch of different, even online if you want. But if you buy them in store, I find that they're much cheaper. So these are a huge heavy-duty magnet. It's designed to hold a few pounds. I don't know how many pounds. Anyway, it holds a bunch. They're super strong. And if you buy them in store, in Canada, on sale, they're about $4 each. In the US on sale, I don't know, I haven't really seen a sale on these, but usually they're under $10 each. And if you buy 4 of them, you can literally use these to stick on to the back of your tool chest. Now, how are you going to do that? Well, just buy a normal wall mount for your TV. Now, here's one of the problems if you buy a normal wall mount. If you're going to do that, now if you see this, see how this wall mount is much taller than the width of that panel? Try to find one that's a bit smaller than that, because you have to grab this wall mount and you have to drill holes on each corner. Here, here, well, it's kind of hard while I'm holding this. Sorry for the bad quality video. Here and here. And if you do that, the magnetic pads are going to be too far away. It's not going to have much to grip on. It's just going to fall down. And if you find too big of one, if you can attach it to here and here, great, but good luck with that. So you have to, it's a little bit of trial and error to find one that's more narrow and one where you can actually attach a nut and bolt here, a nut and bolt here, here and here to attach those. I'm going to show you what those magnets look like when you do that. So on my other toolbox, this is actually what I did. I got each one of these pads. I took out the actual holder that you saw on it. And it's literally just a magnet that I ran a bolt through, a 1/4-20 bolt. The head is underneath the magnet itself. I drilled a hole into this mount frame, into this TV mount frame, wall mount. And then I put a nylock nut here so it won't unscrew on its own. I did the same thing here, here, and here. They're just 4 of those. I'll unpackage one soon if you want to see as well how I did that. So I literally just drilled a 1/4-inch hole here on each 4 corners, made sure that I also had enough of the magnet sitting on this panel to be able to actually attach properly. And this thing's pretty strong. I mean, like if I want to take it off, I can take it off. But in general, it's pretty good. And when you want to find a TV, I'll show you what I did. I literally went to something like Craigslist or eBay. I didn't use that. I bought this particular one in Canada on a place called Kijiji. It's a website. And it was, I think, $50. It's a Toshiba junky TV, but who cares? I plugged in a Chromecast to it, a Google Chromecast. Typical Google, they discontinued those. You can use a Roku stick, an Apple TV, whatever the heck you want. Doesn't really matter. And I powered it from the power bar under here. So that's what I did. So if you find a cheap TV, an LED TV, obviously, or LCD TV, doesn't really matter. You'll be able to get it for pretty cheap. The mount itself is usually about $25 to $30 in Canada and the US. Sometimes you'll find, like, you know, those sites that sell old stuff or things that other stores couldn't sell. Sometimes you'll find it for cheaper. But for the most part, it's not that expensive. So under $100, you got a TV inside your garage. And if you're fixing a car, you need to play a YouTube video, it is great. So let me take apart those magnetic mounts and show you what they look like. So as you can see, my problems with some of the other ones I had about some other mounts, and they weren't wide enough. So by the time I drilled the holes and I put the magnets into them, it would not mount onto tool chests. So yeah, that was a waste of time and money. Anyway, this one here, like I said, just open it up. I really should use my tripod and I never end up doing that. So I'm going to open this up. So like it said, it's a magnetic spray gun holder is what they call them. I don't know of anyone actually using these for spray guns, but I'm sure a lot of places do. And then when you buy them, literally, sorry for my, you just don't hook up the handle. And this is the back of the magnet, and this is the front. So you get a 1/4-20 bolt, put the head through here. I use an extra washer. You really don't need to, but I do. Just a standard washer. Pop the bolt through, and then like you saw how I mounted it, it just goes, it sits on the casing. Can't use this one, obviously, because it doesn't work. But grab this, put this on, put the bolt through it, through there, obviously. Put another washer on to hold the frame pretty well. Put a nylock nut so it doesn't come off, and you're good to go. Again, don't use something like this. I thought it would work. It totally did not. but the one I just showed you did. Then on the back of the TV, just like a standard TV, you've got the two rails, the corresponding rails that go onto it. This particular Toshiba TV used M4 metric bolts. Good luck finding those half the time, even in Canada. They're a pain. A lot of these sets will come with these bags of hardware that you can use to mount the TV with those rails. And I swear every time I use them, they never seem to fit. So you're gonna have to go hunting for the screws, but for the most part. So you put on the two rails. They slide, as you can see, with these hooks onto the rails. So I know it doesn't focus properly. And then you can use that to hook it up. Now, like I said before, you can plug in a Roku, a Chromecast, whatever you want. Just keep in mind, there's not a lot of playback here. Once you hook this up to the rails, there's not much space to plug things into here, which is a shame. So the Google Chromecast, before Google discontinued them anyway, you might be able to get your hands on one at Target or Walmart or whatever. You could plug it in. And I think there's just enough clearance, sort of maybe-ish, to be able to do that. Sorry, it's not focusing. And then, of course, this gets plugged into another power source. And then all I have to do is mount it onto that magnetic set and try it out. And let's see. And there you have it. Now, is this perfect? No. Is it kind of janky a little bit? Yeah, but it works. Now, be careful. If you slide down, if you close your tool chest and you're not anything but super gentle, it's going to fall down and fall onto the stuff you have on top of your tool chest. So don't have anything pokey here. This is not good because it will totally destroy your TV. But if you keep the top area mostly clean or something flat, like, tissue boxes or like bolts and screws. Oh yeah. Bolts and screws and stuff, it'll work. And then you can use your remote, which I can't find mine because of course I can't. And you'll be able to actually be able to close the tool chest with the TV in it as well, which is awesome. And like I said, you can watch YouTube, you can watch whatever you want, you listen to music, who cares? Now, you can end the video here. You've seen me do that, fine. But I will give you a couple other warnings as well. Some of these TVs have a USB port that will power the Chromecast or the Roku or whatever, in addition to the video signal that's going into the HDMI port, right? So you need to power it with something. You can use a USB port on the TV. I never do that. The reason why is because usually those USB ports don't provide enough power. So I literally run a USB-C charger that comes with the Chromecast separately that talks to the Chromecast beneath. I don't know if I can show it to you. Yeah, there's the Chromecast. Because then if you use your phone to turn on your TV through, like say you have YouTube on your phone, you want to cast it to this TV, it'll automatically turn on your TV if your TV has a capability for something called CEC, HDMI CEC, Consumer Electronics Control. Some brands of TV call it something different. Dynex from Best Buy calls it something different. Insignia from Best Buy, I think, also calls it something different. Sony, Toshiba, they all have their own ridiculous names for it. But essentially, if it sees a signal coming from the HDMI, it'll automatically turn on, which is super cool. Very rarely works, but for the most part, at least then you know how to do that. Yeah, like I said, don't slam your thing. Make sure it's very, very gentle. My wife doesn't know what gentle means, so just be careful. Yeah, and it's awesome. So now I have one on this side and then one on this side in my two tool chests, which I love. So next video, I do a lot of 3D printing and design, and I also do some other stuff. So I designed a wooden insert that goes inside my tool chest because my tool chests don't have this. This is my half empty tool chest. But I designed an insert made out of plywood that just sits inside, and for like $20 or probably less, you can have your own plywood table. So I'm eventually going to make a video like that. Sorry, the video quality on this, production quality is kind of terrible. Yeah, but if I don't make videos, I'm never going to get it out. We just moved in, it's never going to happen. So anyway, don't be a disorganized slob like me. Yeah, but this is how you can mount a TV inside your tool chest. If you have any questions, put them down below. I'll try my best to answer them. I'm kind of bad at that. But yeah, feel free to send it out, and happy trails. It's lots of fun. Have a good one.